Sorry, y'all, I'm high. I just got done exercising. It's, I don't even know. It's after 11, I think. Man, did some cardio today and some jump rope. Oh, I'm tired. I'm hot. I hope everybody's having a good morning so far. To everyone that's been watching, hi. If you're new, hi, I'm Christy, and welcome to my channel. And if you would like, subscribe, and share, and turn on them push bell notifications, that'd be greatly appreciated. And, we're going to start off this morning with, they started out pretty good. I got up a little before 9 and everything, watched some Steve and some Maury. And, of course, I just got done exercising, which took everything out of me. My legs feel like jello again, and they were already sore to start with. But, oh, it's fun. I found, like I said, I found videos on YouTube to help me do exercises for beginners until I can get used to exercising. And, but I want to talk about something important this morning. Me and my mom was talking about my dad. My dad passed away in April 16th from lung cancer. It had spread all over his body and into his brain. He had had it a few years before, and he went into remission. He was in remission for almost 2 years, I think. And then July last year, I moved in with my dad because he started feeling bad again, which he knew it was back before the doctors even knew it was back. Went through all of them tests and was never told anything until end of December. His cancer doctor knew, but never told us, never offered chemo or radiation. So in December, he started feeling lightheaded and dizzy, and he couldn't breathe, which he already had COPD to start with. So he started he had oxygen he'd sleep with, but Daddy really didn't sleep. But end of December, anyway, we get back to my story. We ended up having to call an ambulance to come and get him, and we took him to a hospital, and they told us it was back. And by this time, he'd already had fluid building up in his arms, and started to get to where he felt like there was something stuck in his throat all the time. They had found not only the mass in his lungs, but they had found the mass in his throat, which had spread from his lungs. And I'd say around the beginning of January is when it really started getting pretty rough. He got to where he had to be on oxygen all the time, constantly, 24/7. But he was still able to get up and do for himself if he needed to. But then February comes around, and he couldn't get up and fend for himself anymore. I'd fix his food, and my sister and I would take turns staying with him to take care of him, which, yes, I was living with him, but because of what was going on and him not sleeping, I got exhausted. So me and my sister would take turns. I'd go stay with a friend for a few days so I could get some rest. She'd stay with my daddy, and so forth. And if we really needed anything, my brother was there. He was quick to come help us and be there for us and whatever we needed and whatever Daddy needed. Well, that's when he started staying in and out of the hospital for the most amount. It was starting in February. And he steadily started to decline. He got to where he couldn't eat. He would try, bless his heart, he would try, but he He couldn't swallow it. And people that knew my daddy knew he was an alcoholic. So come around January, February, he quit drinking. That's when we knew something was really wrong. Because Daddy drank my entire life. You know, and yeah, he had cut back a lot. But he completely quit. And it got to where that just was making him feel sick. And in and out the hospital, we tried to get him to eat. We had figured out, you know, certain things that was easy for him to swallow. I'd go get out the vending machine. Like chocolates. He loves sweets. So I'd get him like these chocolates that he could melt in his, hold in his mouth and let it melt. You know, and they would give him soups and stuff. But he had just got to where he wouldn't eat at all. He wouldn't eat at all. In April, the week before the 16th, he had been in the hospital. And it had been in and out so much that we got to know the ambulance drivers, because it was always the same ones that came and got him. And they knew what was going on. And he had just got out of the hospital at the beginning of April. The place we were living in, we ended up having to move out, which took a lot of convincing, because my daddy was this very, very stubborn man. And he didn't like being told what to do. But we had found mold in the trailer, which the landlord understood. You know, he was more worried about my daddy's health than my health. So he was great. He was wonderful. He understood, and he gave us time to get our stuff out. Because he really liked my daddy a lot. He'd come and he'd sit and he'd joke with my daddy. And, well, my daddy had got to the point where he couldn't talk. So I'd got him a pail and a notepad and some pens. Well, my daddy had been wanting some pork chops. And I can't fry food because I can't tell when it's done. And, I think it was the 12th or the 13th, I can't remember. We noticed my daddy's right eye started drooping. I think it was his right eye. And my daddy had stents in his heart, so he said his heart had been acting up. But we, you know, I don't know what we were thinking. We were just trying to make sure Daddy was comfortable. Well, my sister had fried his pork chops. Yeah. It took a bite and he started choking on it. And I couldn't get it up. So I ran next door because my sister was taking care of her father-in-law. And I ran in there. I was like, look, Daddy's choking. I can't get it up. So while she was giving him the Heimlich maneuver, I was calling 911. Which she had got it up. But Daddy kept saying, you know, there's still a piece in there. There's still a piece in there. I can feel it. And, the ambulance driver and them, they showed up and they got checking him. And they're like, well, hon, there's nothing in your throat. There is a mass, but it's not food. It's not what you're thinking. It's that mass in his throat. It started pushing in and was closing his esophagus. So they rushed him to the hospital, to Tupelo Hospital. While we were there, we had found out he had had a heart attack, and we didn't know. Well, we went to another hospital first. They brought him to another because it was closer, because they could tell he had had a heart attack. And we got him there, and they were like, his heart is unstable. We're going to get him stable so we can move him to Tupelo, which is one of the best in Mississippi. You know, they've got everything. They're great. And we get in there, and we were all there. My nieces and nephew showed up. My nephew brought his fiance, and I got to see Daddy and spend time with Daddy. Well, Friday night I had stayed with him. Actually, this was over a week's time because he was in Amory for a few days before they moved him. That Friday night, I stayed with my daddy. And we had already... this cancer doctor and another doctor offered my daddy chemo and radiation. My daddy was on his deathbed. It would have made no difference. Because it doesn't spread. He had masses all over his body. It doesn't spread to his brain. Well, I got sick thinking, you know, and I was sick. I had a cold. And I was thinking, okay, well, it's still early enough. They're offering him this. You know, I need to go get this taken care of so that way when they do the radiation and the chemo, I won't be sick because he'll be more susceptible to catching it. And I went downstairs, got my shot, got my medicine. Come back upstairs, my sister met me in the hall. You know, you can't go in there right now. You can't go in there right now. And I'm like, why? Why can't I go see Daddy? And she grabs me up and a nurse is behind her. And they're leading us to another room. And we pass this room and they have him hooked up to a crash cart. He was on the verge of another heart attack. And by this time, Daddy had already, told us he wanted no resuscitation. You know, if anything happens, just let him go. Let him go. And we're at this other room and I'm crying and I'm wondering what's going on, you know, what's wrong. I gotta go see Daddy. And this doctor comes in and he looked us in the face and he looked at us and he goes, I'm so sorry to tell you, but he's terminal. And there's nothing we can do. Friday night I stayed with Daddy. And so did Sean. We both stayed with him and my brother come up there. And that Saturday my brother stayed with him all day and all night. And Sunday morning, all day, I spent the whole day with Eddie while my sister was at work. She was going to stay with him that Sunday night, which was the 15th. And during all this, my mom's birthday was just that Saturday, the 14th. It was Sunday, all the grandkids came and saw Daddy. And we were out in the hall talking because my daddy was trying to get up out of bed and he wasn't supposed to, but by this time he had already lost his cognition. He couldn't talk. And he had urinated on himself, which he had never done. So I went and got the nurse and he put us in the hall while he was changing. You know, they were changing him. And she told us, you know, yeah, just keep an eye on him. He's not really there. The last cognitive moment I remember of my daddy was after the kids had left. Well, I mean, before that, the nurse had come in and they more or less gave my daddy his final rites. And Daddy made peace with God, which made it a little easier. And later on that day, my daddy was scared to go to sleep because he had had a doctor tell him that if he went to sleep, he might not wake up. And this has been years. So my daddy really didn't sleep. He catnapped. And, well, I remember he had dozed off. Because by this time he was in hospice at the hospital. He was put in the day before, I do believe. Yeah, the day before. On the 14th, my mom's birthday. And, he was catnapping, and I was like, okay, I'm tired. I'm gonna lay down and try and get me a cat nap in too while he's sleeping. And I remember I was dozing off, and I felt like, you know that feeling where someone's just staring at you. And I woke up, I opened my eyes, and Daddy was leaning over the bed. He was just looking at me smiling. And I was like, Daddy, are you okay? Do you need anything? You know, are you okay? And he was like, hey. I rolled back over and he went back to sleep. And then after that, you could tell it wasn't him. He was there, but mentally, he wasn't there. So I was getting close to time for my sister to get off work and start heading to the hospital to come stay with my daddy. So I went and stayed, quick matter, I went and stayed at my friend's house. You know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up early Monday morning. I'm gonna go stay with Daddy, stay the night with him, because me, my sister, and my brother were gonna take turns staying with him, and spending time with him. And I called my sister as soon as I woke up Monday morning, and I was like, how's Daddy doing? She's like, he's okay, I guess. He's sleeping, you know, he's not, yeah, he's just sleeping. There's nothing else to say about it, you know. And she stepped out the room for the nurses to clean. Next thing I hear is my sister yelling, Daddy's gone, Daddy's gone. Growing up, me and my daddy were never close. I mean, yeah, I lived with him, but we weren't close. I think I can say out of all of this, yeah, my daddy's gone, but he's not suffering anymore. You know, he made peace with God. And when he passed in his sleep, so he didn't feel a thing. I've lost 2 brothers in the past, and then losing my daddy, it was really hard. So, but one thing I can say, when my dad got sick, was it brought all of us back together. What was left of us 5 kids, you know, my brother, my sister, and me. It brought us all back together for Daddy, and me and Daddy got close and got to know a softer side of my daddy, and I have some wonderful memories these the last several months of his life, and picking on me and cutting up with us, and he would get so mad because he couldn't talk, so he would throw stuff at us to get our attention, especially if we fell asleep and he was awake, because Lord forbid if we fell asleep while he was awake. That wasn't gonna happen. But me and my mama was talking about Daddy this morning, and I miss him so much. This is our first Christmas without him, and Christmas was his favorite holiday, and I mean, it was so much his favorite holiday that he named me after Christmas. You know, Christy Noel. I mean, how much more Christmassy can they get? But the moral of this story is don't take life for granted. No matter how tough things can be with your family, always remember they're still your family. And when it comes down to it, be there for them. And love one another and enjoy every bit of time you have with your parents and your siblings. Because like I said, I've lost 2 brothers and my father in a span of just over 20 years. So much of my life, you know. And I'm so thankful, you know, that time we had with my dad got me and my sister and my brother closer together. And, like, we're gonna be spending Christmas together, you know, and we spent Thanksgiving together, and all this came out of it from my daddy getting sick and passing, and I really don't know what else to say than to, for this Christmas, show compassion and love for others. Because you never know. You know, don't take life for granted. Enjoy every second that you have with someone you hold dear. And just make sure you let them know you love them. Every day, you let them know you love them. And, I love you guys, and I think this is going to be the only thing I put up today. So I hope everybody has a blessed day, and take what I said to heart. Love one another. Be there for one another. And, you know, the birth of Christ is the reason why we're all still here. He died for our sins, and he loved us unconditionally. And we should do the same for our others. Some people, yeah, you might have to love from a distance, but love one another. Be there for others. Show compassion. And I love you all, and I hope you all have a blessed day.